He
Are we live or do we have to run that again?
No, you should be live.
So you're gonna edit all this out?
Yeah, I cut that video.
he actually got E pluses on everything. Excellent plus in every category.
It's good, man. Congratulations.
What's good, everybody? What's good? Welcome to another episode of the 94 Feet Podcast. It's your boy. It's your boy Dre. I'm here with my brother Zeke.
What up? What up? What it do?
What's good, my brother? I'm here with my other brother Keith.
What's good, good people?
Yo, and we are excited about today's episode. We are excited about Milwaukee. We are excited about the Bucks. We're excited about a lot of different things. But how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing real good, man. I'll be doing even better if I was going to the game, but you know, we'll see what happens.
That's right. That's right. Keith, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed. I'm here. I can't complain, man.
Hey, let's go. Let's
and
go.
the Bucks are in the finals.
The Bucks are in the finals. Let's dive right into today's episode where we're going to be talking about that. For the first time since 1974, the Milwaukee Bucks have made it to the NBA Finals. All of us in here are lifelong Bucks fans, despite voting against them from time to time. But what does that mean to you guys? For folks that have been lifelong fans of Bucks fans, okay? For those of you that have been lifelong Bucks fans, what does that mean for you all? And you know, let's give our perspective on as lifelongers. How does it feel to actually finally have the home team in the dance? Go ahead, Keith. How does it feel?
I gotta admit, man, it feels real good, man. Just knowing your hometown is hosting the NBA Finals. This is something that has not happened since what 1974.
Yeah.
And I've been, you know what I'm saying? I've been rocking with the Bucks a long time, and I've been there for all the trenches, the highs, the lows, you know, it all. You know what I'm saying? From when we got robbed by Philadelphia, when we had Big Dog and Ray Allen,
Okay.
and Sam Cassell, and you know Allen Iverson poured it on us.
Yeah.
I don't think he poured it on us. The NBA wanted Kobe and Iverson, but go ahead. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think it means a lot for the city. Besides that, but just the grasp that we haven't been in the finals since 1974. That's over 40 years of not being in the NBA finals. And it's one of those things where our parents were young in their 20s, maybe sometimes 30s, around this age when they went to last time they went to the finals. For our generation to see this happen is really something special.
And for all you people, none of us was born at that time, so.
No, we wasn't born at that time, but that's what I'm saying. Like our parents is in their 20s and out here wilding and having hot girl summers and hot boy summers and stuff like that. And so for us to turn around and be able to buy tickets and be able to see this and take our kids and just share this special moment, it's something real special. Like I was telling somebody else, like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And they was like, well, you don't believe in your team. It's not that I don't believe in my team. It's just that it's so hard nowadays to get to the NBA finals. And for teams who usually aren't there every year, it doesn't happen that often. So all the things have aligned right for our city or our people, for our city to be in this position that we're in. I think we're taking full advantage of it with the district. It's like most of the time it's more people outside than it's inside. And I think this is just being great for the city.
You know, I can remember, I think Keith and I, over the weekend as we chatted, I was away in Texas, we were just talking about being lifelong Bucks fans. I don't know, all of us, for those of you in 94 Feet Nation, our friendship, the three of us, goes back probably 30 plus years. I think we've all started our friendship back in church when we were about 5 years old. And the reason I'm sharing this story is because there's significance to it, because our old pastor, who's my godfather, used to be the chaplain of the Bucks, right? You remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Michael Dudley, he used to be the chaplain. And so we were exposed to a lot of Milwaukee Bucks stuff. And we met a lot of bums, right? We met players that we had no idea who they were, but we knew, okay, they're from the Bucks, so we're Bucks fans, so we're going to enjoy it. I remember the Andrew Lane basketball camp. Do y'all remember that?
I remember. I was at the Andrew Lane basketball camp
You remember that?
every
I do
year that we
remember
had
that,
it.
yeah.
Every year we had it. I think
He
we
did the
had
same dunk every year.
Irvin Johnson, right? We survived the Irvin Johnson years. Remember that? We survived the
Most missed layups in NBA history.
the Todd Day years.
Yeah,
Remember the
Eric Murdoch.
Eric
Y'all
Murdoch,
might not even know nothing about that.
I remember
the
that.
dog pound. Remember the dog pound?
Yeah,
Yeah, when we used to get the tickets where your nose started dripping.
yeah.
So as lifelong fans, you know, we were not born. Yes, Andrew Lang had basketball camps at our church. I'm reading some of the comments from the live back when we were young. I mean, we weren't even teenagers at the time. But anyway, you know, growing up watching every year of the Bucks, me and my boy Shelton, we used to be season ticket holders together, and we would always make a joke that would say, man, we've been owning the future forever.
Yeah.
Like, how long is it going to take for us to own the future? And finally, we've owned the future, and to be here in the finals as hometown boys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can have a objective opinion on your team, I believe, because I've had one all season, and still be a fan of the sport. I think Zeke was one of the first ones to actually get good seats back in the day because he was in you were like in the 5th row or got to go backstage or something.
Pastor, well, speaking of the pastor, he used to take like kids with him when he used to do the chapel. One of the times he took me, and I got took back to the locker room, met some players, and was on the floor one time, stuff like that. And then that just inspired me to get season tickets. And I've taken many people, but like even just like taking my pops was probably the most special one because I don't know. It was just to do something. It was just a thank you to do something for him that he's done for me. And, you know, you don't get those opportunities every day. And so when you like Bucks games are starting to be special, you know, I've taken my little one. I've taken my family. It's just one of them things where like it's not just any time a game, it's something special. And then when you see these kids and they got the Bucks jersey and you get them the Bucks stuff and they excited to have it, and it's for this moment right here when like, hey, I was alive when they won the championship, or my dad took me to see the Bucks when I was this age and such, so they can look back on it and talk to their kids about it. So and it like like you were just saying, like all this stuff, like it's one of the things like you feel a part of the team because it's been so long.
Dude,
when
it's
you
been
get
a
there.
long time,
Yeah.
dude. Just think about it. We went from going together as a group and getting dropped off at games
I
and
didn't
gotta wait for your ride outside.
nosebleed seats.
So, you know what I'm saying? We done all sat together
Yeah,
a couple rows from the Bucks bench. You know,
yeah.
it's a blessing, man, to be where we are, man. I
Yeah.
just say, man, I'm proud to be a Buck fan right now.
And to think about it, you know, if people in 10 years, 15 years, they listen to this episode, we were with the Bradley Center doesn't even exist anymore.
I was just gonna. Yeah, that's another thing.
It
too.
doesn't even exist anymore, right?
Dude,
The
we
Bucks
kicked-
don't play in the Mecca anymore.
Dude, we kicked it in the Bradley Center and the Mecca,
Yeah,
and
I'll-
you probably couldn't even put a game in there anymore.
yeah. I remember. Oh my god, I can't think of his name. Cole, the owner.
Herb Cole.
Herb Cole.
Senator Cole.
He would walk around, you know, just meeting people, just walking around the Bradley Center or whatever, and you know, stuff like that. And you know, fires are formed now, but it's just like going from the Mecca to the Bradley Center to the Forum, and I don't know, it's special, man. It's just special, and like, you know, whether we win or lose, it's just still something that
It's
just,
history.
It's history, and it's something special.
Yeah, and I think people, the reason that you can't underestimate this moment as lifelong fans is because it's hard to go to the finals, let alone win the finals, right? It's hard. The only person that's not hard for is LeBron because that's been his history of always going to the finals. But for teams to be able to compete, win, you know, 40 plus games, overcome injuries, and think about all the players that left us hanging.
And overcome a tough KD.
A tough KD.
Dude, we overcame a tough KD to get to the finals.
Yeah.
We were half a foot from,
I mean,
from being totally different.
We was no
Half a foot.
not even a half a foot, half an inch.
A free thrower.
We was a free throw or two away from being at
a toe. We was the toe
watching
away.
Brooklyn in the finals.
you know, and you think about, I mean, where we've come as a fan. I mean, Zeke and I had season tickets at one point together, along with Shelton and my man's Mel. Bro, we were season ticket holders when they were 15 and 67. You remember that? They were 15 and 67.
Were we?
We couldn't give away tickets.
You know what?
We couldn't give away
You know,
tickets.
I
times
remember that.
where we was texting and you be like, "You want to go to the game tonight?" Man, I don't know,
What
man.
day is it? Like, what day is it?
What?
It's like a Thursday. I got to work, man. I ain't got time for that.
Man, we
I
made
don't have
up
time.
every excuse. And, you know, to be able to watch the Bucks go through the own your future, the missed playoffs. I remember we got excited again about the draft pick of Jabari Parker. Remember
Yeah,
that?
I remember
That's
that.
what brought us back into the fold, because a lot of us, let's be honest, we were fans, but we wrote the Bucks off.
You did.
You're lying. Okay, you're lying. If God came back today, you know where you're not going. Listen, a lot of us wrote the Bucks off. We did. We were like, you know what? We're going to be fans, but we're not going to invest our money in tickets. Or
Yeah.
we're going to watch on TV. Or if I get free tickets, I'll go. We drafted Jabari Parker. The Own the Future movement started. Jabari got injured. We drafted Giannis. People were like, man, who is this guy that people drafted? Who is this guy? No one knew who
Hey.
he was.
I remember when they drafted Giannis.
I
And
was watching it with Scooby
and we was like
at the pub. We were at the
Yeah.
pub watching
I'm
it.
like, man, I don't know how this gonna work out.
I don't,
I
no.
don't know nothing about dude. But then I looked up a YouTube video and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
he might be all right. But I never expected Giannis to be who he is today.
I
You,
didn't.
myself, Scooby, and Shelton, I believe, watched that draft from the corner pub in Tulsa, and we all were like, who is this guy? I like to pick because at the time, foreign players were in.
They
Foreign
were.
players were in. So I
They
said,
were
this
just,
could
but they
be
was
a
just
good
starting
thing.
to come in, but we didn't think. We was thinking about like Dirk Nowitzki's and
Yeah.
stuff back then.
Yeah.
We wasn't thinking like
Yeah.
Giannis is gonna be the next Dirk or
No.
Yeah.
whoever.
No,
you know
no.
what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't think he or Manu Ginobili. That's what we were watching. We were like,
Right.
that's what we figured was our European players, and that was gonna be it. That's in your mindset.
Yeah.
But not knowing Giannis was
The
gonna
future.
be the future.
The future.
Yeah. And you know, so we say all that to say this moment for Bucks fans is unforgettable. You know, I was watching a game at a bar in Texas, and when the Bucks won, I just hollered. And you know, I'm in Texas, so their team's not there, and I had the Bucks hat on, and they're like, "Man, this is a fan," because I was actually there cheering for my team.
Hey,
Loudest one.
you can't.
What?
On, man.
What?
Clapping your hands that loud in my ear.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mic check. 1, 2.
being able to celebrate these moments, because we had a lot of bad ones.
We did.
We had a lot of years where, and as sports fans, especially, and Zeke can't attest to this, but as Packer fans, Brewers fans, but Milwaukee sports will have you feeling some type of way.
Listen, I used to be so upset when the Bucks lost back in the day, especially when we had what was his name? Sherman Douglas.
Sherman
Y'all remember
Douglas.
Douglas?
I remember Sherman
Sherman
Douglas.
Douglas.
Man, Sherman Douglas used to make me so mad when we would lose game. Him and Todd Day, man, they would shoot up that bull crap, man. I would get so upset. I'd be like, man.
I remember being at the game when the Bulls played the Bucks for their 70th win. And back then, you know, we're too young to be Bucks fans. You know, you were on the Jordan bandwagon, and you would have thought you were in a Chicago stadium. That's changed. A lot of that is because of Giannis, obviously. But now when we play the Bulls, we really sound like the home crowd. So the city of Milwaukee has grown to embrace the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a special moment for lifelong fans. It's even a great moment for bandwagon fans. We'll take the bandwagon fans because we need y'all to cheer us on the victory.
No, they can go on about their business.
But this is, like I said on my Facebook on Saturday, become a fan of the team year round.
This has been a long time coming,
We
man.
get season tickets, go to games, support the games, and also just know that moments like this don't happen always. It'd be great to repeat and go back to the finals, but we have to live in the moment. So congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks organization. Congratulations to the franchise. Congratulations to Giannis, who really, they built this championship team around him. You know, and shout out to Giannis for not leaving us.
Man.
Shout out to Giannis for not leaving us.
Yeah, for sticking around. I mean, we.
But hold on, y'all. While we all giving all these other people shout out, y'all, we got to give Middleton a shout out.
Oh,
too.
we ain't done, man.
Shout out to Middleton, man. I just got to get him out there,
Bro,
because I was hard. I was hard on him, man.
Because y'all was on him.
I was
was
hard.
on him.
I was hard on him.
He was on
for a hard minute too. Like
Y'all
they gave
was on
him all that money, but
y'all
but-
was on him.
But you know what?
Y'all was on him.
You just wasn't on them this year, but the year
You was
before,
on him.
When?
You was on him.
No, I was like Cash Money Chris every time.
Bruh.
no.
Bruh.
Huh? What?
The only reason, listen,
on, man.
94
Really?
Feet Nation, the only reason he could deny this is because
Here we
we
go.
just started recording this year. That's the
No,
only reason.
no. I've
He
always
denied
said Chris Middleton is a good player. When he got that money, I was like, he deserves it. And when everybody was like, how much he get? And I was like, nah, man, he deserved it.
I said I don't know about that much.
You was
I
the
said-
first
I-
person
I
to
said-
say that.
I didn't say he
You
deserved.
would too.
I didn't say
I
he
hated
deserved to
it.
get paid, but I said that amount of money. But this year,
He's,
this playoff,
he's earning it.
he's earned it.
He's
Earned his salary this year.
He's put the team on his back.
A couple
Literally.
times. A couple times.
He's put the and the thing that I think a lot of us were hard on Chris Middleton about, it wasn't that he was a bad player. We were just looking for consistency.
Yeah.
We were just looking for that night in and nine out consistency.
I think when you see a guy get that much money, I don't want to say consistency. I think you're looking for more than you know what? I'll say that consistency. Consistency is the one thing. Because Chris Middleton will drop 38, and then the next game he'll drop 15.
and
So-
we can't do that when you're competing for a championship.
You can do that, but I mean, like Kesey just said, this year in particular, he's really earned his money. I was always on Chris Middleton. I always had his back, but this year is something different because we're seeing it in the playoffs. We usually see it in the season, and then in the playoffs he's kind of dwindled it down. But I think he's evolved a lot this year.
So as we get ready to move on from this topic, is it time for the world and the NBA to start taking the Milwaukee Bucks serious as a competitive team for seasons to come?
I mean, we don't know this now, and everybody know this now. So I mean, you got to look at it like this: it ain't gonna be easier next year. It's gonna be just as hard, probably harder. You know what I mean? But just us being Eastern Conference champions is already making everybody gonna have their foot in our neck as soon as the season start next year, because they're gonna be like they should have been there. So Atlanta gonna be coming for our head next year. You got Brooklyn gonna come for our head next year.
Oh yeah.
Who else did we beat?
We beat a lot of people.
Boston.
Miami.
No, not Boston.
Miami.
Miami gonna be looking for us next year.
The Lakers. Because the Bucks already have a target on their back because they're the Eastern Conference champions.
Mhm.
Giannis has already become someone of the poster child. Let me tell you what I really enjoy about this. Now, you all think finals tickets were hard? The Bucks better get a Christmas Day home game. Okay, they better get a Christmas Day home game.
See, that's my thing. That's my thing. My thing is I'm hoping whether we win or lose, we become a target for bigger free agents. Oh, I would like to play in Milwaukee. Oh, that seems like a nice
But I think that's gonna be hard when you got people like Stephen A.
I mean, nobody listen to Stephen A.
Jackass.
Oh, people listen.
People
to Stephen
listen.
A.
People
Oh,
do
yeah,
listen
they
to
do.
Stephen A. But what I'm saying
Talking
is,
about it's a terrible city.
if it's one of those things where okay, like LeBron has a effect where people follow him to the team he's going to, or they're more drawn to the team he goes to because they won the championship.
Right.
If Bucks can become consecutive contenders, I think that would draw in maybe bigger role players, and maybe even bigger superstars.
So you think Blake will want to come here next year now?
I don't want Blake.
Nah,
No, I'm just saying because he's a free agent again.
Like the
So
Blake
he is
face.
a free
he
agent.
jumped to Brooklyn because that's what he thought was going to win.
Exactly.
But we
No.
beat Brooklyn, so what do you think they're going to do now? They going
No.
to jump with us?
No.
But we don't want him.
And the other thing, while we're reminiscing on the Bucks, and shout out to Holiday, man. Holiday was
Holiday,
looking
yeah.
like an offensive
Way to
player
step up
of
Holiday
the
in a
year.
big way, man.
Yeah.
He was holding everybody in Game 6. He was all over the floor, and he knew that this is our window. What was most impressive for me, we want Giannis on the court, but the Bucks looked impressive in Game 6, even without him.
That's because, like I told y'all before, who has to be the primary ball handler?
Holiday. All day. That's why
Holiday.
we brought him here.
But when Giannis is in the game, sometimes he kind of demands the ball too much, and it takes away from their offense, and they kind of get flustered.
So
when you don't have a point guard being the orchestra, you know what I'm saying, directing it. You know what I'm saying?
I see that, and I was watching the game very carefully, and I remember you saying something about that. I don't think that the Bucks offense runs like that, because when Chris Middleton was bringing it up, because Middleton, something that the Inside the NBA said on TNT, Charles Barkley, he was like, the Milwaukee Bucks are full of nice guys that are really good basketball players. Drew Holiday is one of the nicest guys in the NBA, but I don't think he's a guy who can bring the ball up and make something happen unless he's feeling like I'm going to drive the basket.
But see, the one
and
thing
he's a matchup guy, so he's like, I can do this with the matchup I have.
But you got to realize the difference between him bringing the ball up and Middleton bringing the ball up and Giannis bringing the ball up.
Yeah,
is when Drew and Middleton bring the ball up, you got to come up. If Giannis is bringing the ball up, what do you think they're doing?
They're backing up a little bit.
They're backing off a couple of 3 or 4 feet, which has allowed them to protect the paint better.
Mm-hmm.
And where does Giannis score best?
In the paint.
In the paint. So as long as Drew and Middleton are bringing the ball up, we're going to be good regardless.
I mean, I don't think – I agree with you. I just don't think that – I think Giannis bringing the ball up is not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think it's a bad thing when he does it majority of the offense.
Agreed. He's not – Giannis should
if Giannis gets the rebound and go – that's fine.
So let me ask you this question then.
But
what percentage would you want him bringing the ball up?
I don't want him bringing the ball up. I don't want Giannis having to play the Magic Johnson role. I want Giannis to run the pick and roll. I want Giannis to man the middle where he can bully people a lot. We brought in Holiday because Holiday, I'm going to use the words, he is an elite point guard, in my opinion, all defensive first team. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's not the name point guard, right? He's not the superstar point guard, but he is an elite point guard that can handle the floor. And he makes it hard for people because he's a top defender. You're not just going to come and shake and bake on Holiday and just call it a day. No, he's going to have a hand in your face. Yeah. He might steal the ball from you, and he's going to make you frustrated on the court. So for me personally, Giannis shouldn't be bringing the ball up at all. That's just me. He's not LeBron. He's not KD. He's Giannis. But let Holiday do what Holiday does.
What does Holiday do?
Holiday is the floor general. He's the point guard. Is he not?
He is. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's not the point guard. I'm not saying that he's like Holiday is an elite defender. He can shoot. He can score. He can score inside and out. I think that the thing about Holiday is he's not as aggressive, but he does. Like Game 5 and Game 6, he was aggressive. And when the shot wasn't falling in Game 6 like it was in Game 5, he started to drive in the paint. He started to do different things. When I think that a lot of times when Middleton brings the ball up or when Giannis brings the ball up, they just need to get a feel for it. And that may duck off into a pass. They may duck off into Giannis going up the middle and scoring. But it's still one thing is creating offense. I think one of the things I've said this before that is different in the Bucks offense this year is that Giannis is seeing the floor better to where he can drive down, see I don't have it, and kick it out. Before, maybe like 2 years ago, he didn't have that I can kick it out mentality. He was like, I gotta get in here. I gotta get in here. I gotta get in here. And so he was forcing it. He was forcing his basket. He was forcing the play. But I think this year he can now kick it out to Middleton and Holiday.
But even if you watch some of the games this year, he does that a lot too. Still, like where he drives. And the defense collapse on him, and he can't make the passes sometimes.
So that's true. That does happen. That does happen.
That are unnecessary. But you notice when Drew is bringing the ball up or Middleton is bringing the ball up, the Bucks are more successful offensively because you have to guard them as soon as they cross the half-court line.
As soon as they cross that line.
So I differ.
They pass better when Holiday's bringing the ball up. If you notice, when Holiday is running the play, the Bucks will pass the ball 4 or 5 times before a shot is taken.
I agree. I agree with both those things. But I think the thing that we missed about Giannis in these last two games were his instant offense. Giannis is instant offense. It's not if he's not shooting if the jumper's not falling for Chris Middleton. If the jumper's not falling for Drew Holiday, he's instant offense. I'm going to get the ball down and within this 18 feet,
especially if they're going to pick and roll,
and I'm going to score. And it's one of those things where, like, when a jumper wasn't falling, the Hawks started to come back and cut the lead to like 7. But if that jumper starts to fall, I think that's what Giannis is. He's instant offense. Sometimes it takes him bringing the ball up and doing what he does with it, but it's still instant offense.
So then let's bring it home a bit, because obviously we're reminiscing on some things, and that's good. If you're players like Brandon Jennings, Larry Sanders, Eric Bledsoe, Dellavedova, JJ Redick, who all left us hanging, really. How do you feel right now, especially Bledsoe, because both of your former teams are now playing for a championship? So how do you feel?
And the team that you traded for players is in the finals with the same team you had.
How do you feel like if you're one of those players that just dogged Milwaukee? Like JJ Redick didn't want to be here. Remember that? He didn't want to be here.
He didn't want to be here.
That's why I don't feel bad for what's his name, one of the Bob boys, Bob Donovich over there in Atlanta. He didn't want to come here. Remember,
he didn't want to come here. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And then he the one started the tampering thing, and that's how the Bucks got fined for tampering, because he started saying the Bucks were reaching out to him.
So at the end of the day, none of these players are with us. As lifelong fans, we're excited. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks. We look forward to cheering you on in the NBA Finals. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks, man.
Go Bucks. So we talked about our fans' perspective, but now let's get into the real. Bucks got to go compete, baby.
Listen,
the Bucks got to go compete. So let's get into the real now. We was all mushy for about 30 minutes, but let's get into the real. The Milwaukee Bucks are playing the hottest team in the Western Conference for the championship in the Phoenix Suns. Let's talk about the matchups. Let's worry about predictions later. We know that there is a potential Giannis injury. Chris Paul's not 100%. What do the Bucks have to do to stay competitive? What does Phoenix have to do to stay competitive? Shout out to Chris Paul. Let's show Chris Paul some respect for finally making it to the finals. Shout out to Chris Paul.
Shout out to Chris Paul.
Shout out to Chris Paul.
I like Chris Paul.
Who's another floor general. And we like Chris Paul, most of us on this podcast, especially when he's healthy, but obviously we're rooting against him. Man, let's talk about the Bucks Phoenix Suns matchup. Who wants to start? Because I know we got a lot to say.
I'll start off with the Drew and CP matchup, because that's going to be the matchup.
Oh man, Holiday and CP3.
I don't.
That's what's going to make or break the series.
I don't want him. I don't want Drew Holiday holding CP3.
Why not?
Wait.
Hold on a minute.
Whoa.
Where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Why?
Devin Booker is a killer. CP3 is cool. Devin Booker is a killer.
You put Middleton on him.
No,
Middleton is a solid defender.
No, he's not that solid. He's not that solid.
But the thing you got to realize is Booker got to guard Middleton too.
Booker
he didn't have to guard nobody last series.
Well, I expected to go like this. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Because he didn't guard Chris Paul. I mean, he didn't guard Paul George at all.
Who?
He was guarding Pat
Booker.
Beverly.
Yeah, he was guarding. That's what I'm saying. Like, they were staying away because both Middleton and Booker aren't great defenders. Are they solid? They're solid, but they're not great defenders.
Middleton is a great defender.
He's not a great
What?
defender. He's not
Are
a
you
great
serious?
defender. No, he's not a great defender.
Middleton is a great defender, man.
He's not a great defender. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, okay.
So this is what I'm saying. This is how I imagine it's gonna go. We're gonna go Tucker, Booker. We're gonna go Middleton, CP3, and we gotta go Drew for we gotta go Drew Booker. I'm sorry, Drew.
You just confused me, man.
I did. I confused myself. Let me say this one more time. We got Booker, PJ Tucker holding Devin Booker.
All right, guys, do not drink and podcast at the same time. Okay. This is perfectly
I'm
down.
telling you. I'm saying.
All right, slow down.
I'm just saying.
Just sip of
Okay,
water.
PJ Tucker holding Devin Booker, and then I expect Chris Middleton to hold Chris Paul, and then I expect Drew Holiday No, I'm sorry. Let me reverse that. Drew Holiday on CP3. And then I expect Middleton on Bridges.
So
Or I expect him on Jay Crowder.
So let's talk about the Phoenix Suns offensively. If Booker's having an off night, Phoenix doesn't have many players that can score it like Booker can.
Not like Booker can, but they do have people who can score.
They have a bench, but the Bucks have.
I'm not talking about the bench. I'm talking about the big man. I'm talking about
the Bucks have people that can score though.
But see, what I think is going to benefit the Bucks the most is we have bigs that can protect the paint, and not letting players like Cameron Payne get off is going to be beneficial to the Bucks. Because if you stop their bench, because that's what's get them going. They bench gets them going, and then they really keep going.
So how do we like the matchup? Do the Milwaukee Bucks match up well with the Phoenix Suns, in your opinion? Assuming Giannis is playing. Do we match up well with the Phoenix Suns?
I think we are a better basketball club than them. And we are a more experienced basketball club than them as far as player-wise.
I think we're a more experienced team than that. It's hard for me to say because I told you I wanted this matchup. This was the matchup I wanted.
This is the matchup you predicted.
This is the matchup I predicted.
The only problem I have though is Chris Paul,
who is playing on a sore right hand right now,
but he's playing MVP caliber basketball right now.
The
only thing that I don't like about him is all of his flopping and baiting the refs into giving him calls.
And you see who the refs are? Scott Foster.
There's a veteran.
Man, here we go.
Those are veteran moves.
Man, here we go. Scotty's here.
Scott Foster, that Chris Paul referee, is here, and a couple others. But for me, I think all eyes are. You have to. So let me ask you both this: do you let Devin Booker score and worry about the rest of the team?
No.
Or do you just clamp Devin Booker from the beginning?
You clamp Booker and Paul and let everybody else do what they do.
You let everybody else do what they do. Double team.
Because at some point, they're going to start missing. Like Jay Crowder, think about it. The last 3 years straight, he was in the playoffs. He couldn't buy a bucket. All of a sudden, now you cash money every time you shoot it.
What's interesting is these two teams, the Phoenix Suns and the Bucks, have played each other twice in the regular season. Phoenix won both games, but they were 1-point victories both times.
Yeah.
Now,
was all of the players playing?
I don't believe so. Let me go and check the history really, really quickly here.
So while you're checking that, I know Devin Booker gave us buckets. I also know Giannis is going crazy. At least one of those of each.
So when they played on, let's see here, it was 128-127 in Milwaukee. When they played, I don't have the date here, but let's see here. Giannis played. He was getting buckets. Middleton played. He was getting buckets. Lopez only had 7. Holiday had buckets. So, again, it really depends on the rotation and if the scoring is on or off. Because I tell you, man, and y'all gave me slack for this, I told y'all, Jeff Teague can score. When we put him in the game, all he did was score. He didn't get a lot of time in games 5 and 6, but he scored. Coach Bud is going to have to depend on scorers to beat the Phoenix Suns. We need players that can score.
You can't outscore them, though.
I think you can. And so when you look at Phoenix, during that game, Chris Paul played, and Chris Paul was Chris Paul. Booker only had 24 that game, so he didn't just tear us apart in that game, but he did what Booker does. So, and then that was on April 19th. On February 10th, they lost 124-125 in favor of the Phoenix Suns. Giannis put up 47 that game.
Mm-hmm.
Middleton put up 18. Brook again had 10. Brook is going to come and have to play like he did in game 5 and drop 31.
That's not who he is.
That's not who he is, but he's going to have to learn how to do it if he wants to win a championship. And then over on the other side with the Phoenix Suns, again, Chris Paul had 28. Booker had 30. Ayton had 17. Kaminsky had 14. Bridges had 15. So really, everybody's going to have to play their part. We have to stop the Phoenix fast breaks. We can't give these guys any open look jump shots. And guys like Middleton and Holiday, they're going to have to play 48 minutes. They're going to have to play, and they have to bring it. This is not a series that's going to be easy, but I do believe the Bucks are the better team and can get the dub in a 7-game series. I think it's going to stretch. You know, I heard some people say Bucks in 5. I heard some people say Suns in 4. I've heard some people say Bucks in 6.
I've heard some people actually say the Bucks are going to get swept.
I've heard that too. I've heard that too.
All I know is everybody is saying that nobody is voting for the Bucks to win this series.
They're the underdogs.
They're the underdogs.
They are the underdogs.
So Vegas, make your bets now. Bucks,
I
Bucks
plan
in
to.
6.
I think the Bucks will win it. I think the Bucks will win it, but they'll win it in 7. I think that us playing good at home is going to help. I don't think they'll lose the championship in Milwaukee.
You mean win?
Well,
We don't have
lose.
home court advantage.
No, I know. I'm saying I don't think they'll lose. Like if you like Milwaukee in 6 or Phoenix in 6, I mean Game 6 is in Milwaukee. I don't think we'll lose in Milwaukee.
So here's the thing that I said in the last series. My bad, Zeke. Is you got to be able to win on the road to win a championship.
The Bucks have to get game 1. Bottom line is they got to come in and get game 1.
I don't think we need game.
You don't think so?
The Bucks don't need to go down 2-0. So we need to get 1 or 2.
We don't need to go down 1-0. We need to start out up 1.
I don't think
you need to come out and set the tone because you remember how Atlanta was doing this at first.
Yeah.
But then the Bucks came out and set the tone and beat them by what? 30 almost?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they have to come out and beat Phoenix right away. Let Phoenix know we're here.
But also, I think people are forgetting too, those were only 1-point victories. The Bucks are a better defensive team.
That was my whole thing. Like everything you were saying is true, but I think the biggest thing in this game is going to be defensively. If we can stop, like you asked, should we stop Booker and let everybody else do their thing, or should we? You said stop CP3 and Booker and let everybody else do their thing. I don't want because Chris Paul doesn't shoot first. He looks for the pass first. He looks for the best basketball play, and usually he looks for the pass first. So I don't want everybody else get going and stuff like that, because once they get going, then you can't stop them. So like you said before, we're going to have to play aggressive 7 games in a row. But I do think that we match up well with Phoenix if we're playing to our highest expectation, because Giannis is going to be out first 2 games. He's going to be out. But
is that what you know?
That's what you know?
What?
I did that what you're guessing?
Is that what you know?
No, I know that for sure.
Oh, okay.
So
because reports said today that he might be ready to go by game 1.
Yeah, they keep saying that. Giannis is not going to be ready to go until game 3, and that is pushing it.
I think it's pushing it too. I don't disagree with you. I would love to see Giannis play for a championship and help us, because we definitely need him, but I don't want us rushing him back.
I don't want him rushing him back, and then on top of that, I don't want him out there with a bum knee, because if something happens, that knee can get worse. He was a step away from it being an ACL or MCL. He was a step away from that. So the fact that it's just a hyperextended knee lets me know, oh, woo. That's first of all. Second of all, okay, let's take our time with this. If they win the first 2 games in Phoenix, I'm okay with that.
So,
I'll be completely honest with you, because that's how good we are at home.
So Charles Barkley said the Bucks are better without Giannis. I don't know that I agree.
I can see that, just because all the things you said. Drew's bringing the ball up. They're passing it more. They're making sure everybody gets involved. But the thing about that is Lopez and even Bobby Portis, those guys aren't consecutive.
Shout out to Bobby, bro. Bobby been
Crazy Eyes Bobby.
Too.
Those guys aren't. You can't count on them for consecutive 20 and 25. Okay. You can't count on that.
But you also have to remember, Giannis being out is allowing them to have the minutes and the shots that they normally don't get. So they are capable of doing it, but they don't have the minutes and they don't have the plays set for them to do it. But now The Bucks have to play team ball, and everybody has to be a part of it.
And Bud has to coach.
But this is my thing.
Bud has to train that.
Win or
rotation.
lose, I think Bud goes. I don't care.
No, he doesn't.
I know he not.
Bud has secured his job for the next 3 years.
At least 3.
At least 3. We're in the
At least 2. At least 2.
we're in the finals. He's secured.
He's
unfortunately,
They're like,
and it's not because of him.
But check
It's
this
because
out, though.
Middleton took on that role.
But check this out, though. My thing is this: will you count? Do you count? Because they got the minutes. Game 6, they got the minutes, but they weren't producing. And so when
Jeff
Lopez
Teague was producing,
he had 9 points. Relax.
but he only played for like 5 or 6 minutes.
That's all he needs.
But so no, I don't disagree with you. But what I'm saying is, if you have guys that are scoring, why not increase the clock?
Because if you are,
Especially if Giannis doesn't play.
if Giannis doesn't play, well, I know this is one thing I did notice about the Bucks. We don't have a deep bench.
No.
We do not have a deep bench.
We do not.
And so when Giannis is paying 47 minutes or 35 minutes, and these guys are sitting down and so on and so forth, like Bobby's an energy guy. He comes in, he gives like 10 points, and the crowd erupts. He's our bully, actually. Him and PJ Tucker.
My peoples are saying Bobby Portis is the X factor.
We got a lot of comments here.
He is.
Let's read some of the comments.
Why are we reading
They
comments?
saying
But
honestly,
This ain't
he's
a radio show.
he
If
honestly.
you want to leave a comment, that's cool. This ain't a radio show.
Hey,
But
Zeke don't want no help, bro.
I don't want no help.
Listen,
Zeke said don't argue with him.
From what I'm seeing, everybody is saying honestly, Bobby Portis is the reason we in the finals.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I'm saying he's the factor in that because the way he
played
played
his
those last,
part.
the way him and Brooke played those last
Game
3 games,
5. Game
those last 2
5.
games, they played. Man, Brooke was catching lobs like he was DeAndre Jordan. Man, come on, man.
If Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday don't show up, there are no finals.
Yeah,
okay,
we know that.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying
we
once
appreciate Portis.
Once you get past those two,
Because they're supposed to do that.
Portis,
not no 20 apiece.
Portis
No, I'm
is,
saying-
it's a contract year for him, right? He's coming up on a contract, so you know how Bucks players do. We're gonna give you our best. Give us that crazy contract.
You make it to the finals to make niggas stay. That make niggas stay.
Zeke, our fans don't appreciate that you don't want to hear comments, just so you know.
That's tough. That's tough.
So I'm going to ask you both a tough question. We're going to move on from this segment. First off, the first question is, can the Bucks win the NBA title without Giannis? Yes or no? No explanations.
No.
Can the Bucks win the title without Giannis? Keith?
No.
No.
Zeke?
No.
I'm going to say no.
Why?
We said no explanations.
Okay.
We said no explanations.
Yeah, you do.
We don't believe that the Bucks can win without Giannis. So, with that being said, Giannis has to play. 94 Feet Nation, weigh in. We're going to read some of these, whether Zeke wants us to or not.
I'm not the bad guy here.
You're
That's
the
just-
terrible guy.
You
Let us
what?
know.
That's fine.
Big
I'll
T,
be the bad guy.
Gilly, I'm not sure who's watching over on Kesey's Live. Can the Bucks win this without Giannis? For those of you all that are
Can
listening
you
to the
breathe
Bucks,
without
Yeah,
oxygen?
I got people over here on my chat too.
yeah.
People weigh in, let me know.
Weigh
Can the
in,
Bucks
let
win
us
without
know.
Giannis?
Can the Bucks win without Giannis? 94 Feet Nation, let us know.
I got a question.
Type in the chat. Hold up.
Can you breathe without oxygen? Can you drink? Can you drink water without tasting?
Can you
What are
pay
you?
your-
What are we asking here?
Can you-
What are you talking about?
Can you kick it without money? Like these are the questions we're asking, right? All that. So let me ask you all this. Then, so Terrence says no. Shelton says no. So that the Bucks can't win it. So then let me ask you this: assuming Giannis plays, because now we're in the fandom and not being objective. We're being in the fans now. What if Giannis plays? What is your prediction for the series, Keith? Assuming Giannis plays.
We win.
Give us a breakdown. 4-2.
We NBA champions in 6.
Bucks in 6. Kesey got Zeke. Assuming Giannis plays. Now you see, because this is the finals, they're not all over me. 94 Feet Nation. Usually they all over me. You can't have what ifs. You can't say what ifs. You can't do that.
I was about to say that.
Okay.
I was about to say that before you interrupted me. You can't have what ifs. You can't, because we got to play with what's on the floor. Do I think the Bucks can win this series? Yes. Do I think these Bucks will win this series without Giannis? No, I do not. Do I want them to win it? Yes. As things are right now, Bucks in 7.
I am going to agree.
Because Giannis is coming back. So Bucks in 7.
with or without Giannis, I'm going to go Bucks in 7. I think I'm going to go Bucks in 7.
Bucks in 7. So what happened if the Bucks sweep them?
Not going to happen.
You don't know.
No, I'm gonna tell you if the Bucks
The
sweep
matchup.
them,
This is a totally different matchup for Phoenix,
I,
and also a different matchup for the Bucks. So, if you were Monty Williams right now, who do you feel you need to stop on the Bucks right now?
Middleton.
Who do you feel?
Middleton.
Who do you feel you need to key in on?
Middleton.
Drew or
Middleton.
Middleton?
Middleton. All day.
because he can get you 20 in 20 minutes.
Middleton is hungry. Holiday is hungry. But we have to remember Giannis's efforts to those 2 losses in the regular season were huge. He had 47. That's 47 points. Somebody else on the Bucks have to put up just to even stay competitive. Brook has to be Brook. The team has to come and they got a ball. They got to make shots. You got to make free throws. All right. Shelton said if the Bucks sweep the Suns, nobody will be able to shut him up for at least a decade.
If the Bucks,
You said what happened?
Shelton said if the Bucks sweep the Suns, nobody will be able to shut him up for at least a decade.
hey,
Shut who
if-
up?
Sheldon, he said he's gonna talk crazy.
Most
No,
definitely.
let-
I agree, Shells. I agree, bro.
I'm going past that, Shell. If the Bucks sweep the Phoenix Suns, I've already told my job. If the Bucks win it, I'm going crazy. If the Bucks win, I'm going crazy.
If
If
the-
the Bucks win it, sweep them. Oh my God, y'all be like, is that?
I'm
Zeke
putting my
running
money
down
down
the
on my
street,
season
butt
ticket.
naked.
I'm going in
drinking.
on my season tickets the day after they win.
Listen, y'all hear that, America?
I'm going. Tear the city up. Usually I don't do that.
Wait, time out.
Tear the city up.
Do not tear our city up, but we
Tear
are.
the
Let him be a
city
fool
up.
and go to jail.
We do not endorse.
I'm going to jail. I'm telling you right now. The Bucks sweep Phoenix Suns. I'm going to jail.
Well, I don't bail people out of prison, so
That's fine. That's fine. I'll do a couple days.
Yo,
you see me
shit,
out here.
You think it's worth that?
Hey, I'll have a story for the 94 Free Podcast. I'll have a hell of a story.
We have a morality clause here, sir. You get arrested, you are no longer a part
yeah.
of this podcast. Sheldon, we got to
First
see
of all-
them before you.
First of all, y'all gonna want to hear this story? Y'all gonna want to hear this story? So what happened, man?
Yeah,
Man.
we'll fight you.
Terrence,
We'll
we
fight
got
you.
a seat for you. Jason, we got a seat for you. If this
Wow.
man goes to jail,
We will
he's going
invite.
to stay in jail.
We will invite him back for a guest
No,
visit
the
to
heck
tell
we won't.
to tell his story. Yeah,
We don't want those spirits up in here, man.
he
I
can
swear.
come tell his story, but
No,
his
no.
job is done.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Your
I'm glad
services
y'all,
are no
I'm
longer
glad
needed.
y'all witnessed this. I'm over here celebrating my home team victory, and they were like, "Yo, you off the podcast? You kicked off." Because I'm out here wilding. I'm out here celebrating.
So let's say
Hey.
this. Let's break it back home.
What do you hold on? Just off of what he said, what do you think our city is going to look like if the Bucks win?
Oh, it's gonna look a mess. It's gonna look, bro. You
What you
gonna,
Are you crying? We a mess.
A
We in the bar all night long.
bro,
It's everywhere.
you gonna think it's police brutality. You gonna think it's the Million Man and Woman March. You gonna see unity between blacks and whites. You gonna
That's
see
true.
some of everything. Because,
Hey, we gonna be on some white people shit. I'm gonna be on some white people shit. I'm sorry.
listen here. 94 Feet Nation.
94 feet. I love all people.
We love all people. If the Bucks win, Sheldon said he got money for your books. Well,
Thank you.
You got one
Bucks fan. Thank you, Bucks fan. Hold it down, cause I'm going crazy.
You got one friend out here because I don't. But anyway, if we can win the championship, I think we'll celebrate. Milwaukee will look like most, but let's not make this a Milwaukee thing. Every city looks a mess after their team has
It
won the
depends.
Dude,
championship.
just,
It
think, just
depends.
think of our city getting to host the championship parade.
I'm looking forward to it. In fact,
Dude, that's so.
I
How
challenge
crazy
you
would that
both.
be? I've watched the Jordan one. I watched the LeBrons.
The LeBron one.
the
We always watch it
Boston.
from TV.
We always watch
always
it on
from
TV, but to be able to see that parade yourself,
I challenge you both because the Bucks are in the finals now, and you both have seen how hard it is to get tickets. Y'all need to be signing up for season tickets now. Y'all shouldn't be waiting for the champion. Because I'm gonna tell you, hold up.
Go ahead.
Once the fact that we're in the finals, tickets are higher for seasons next year.
Mhm.
oh, I know.
When we win the championship, or if we win the championship, they're gonna be even higher.
Oh yeah, I know.
So I suggest y'all
But I already know who to go through.
get on the bandwagon, right?
I refuse.
You get,
I already know who to go through.
you know what?
Man can't pay
Get
my,
out.
Man can't pay my bail.
Get
but
out.
He want me to sign up for season tickets. Man can't pay my bail,
man.
but he
Hey.
want me to sign up for season tickets.
Hey, you know
and
my,
then on top of it, he gonna try to kick me off the podcast because I'm wilding out. No, you mean you
Hey,
do
man.
crazy.
I'm just saying we got a morality clause. Control yourself.
We're talking.
Listen, he gonna be out there. He gonna be out there acting a fool too. Cause I ain't gonna bring
No,
up. I
you
ain't
know
gonna
what Dre
bring up.
gonna do? You
I ain't
know
gonna
what Dre
bring up
gonna
some of the old days.
Dre, you know what Dre gonna do? Dre gonna be wilding.
I
I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Why you bringing up my homecoming party, man?
Listen, if the good people that are listening knew,
If you
what
know
we were
Dre,
talking
if you
about.
know Dre, you know what we talking about. Okay.
Look,
And
I hosted a party and things happen. But anyway, let's move on, man. Shout out to the Bucks. Shout out to the Phoenix Suns. Congratulations on the finals. It should be a great matchup, but we all got the Bucks winning it. So moving on, we're gonna jump around here because we're already about 50 minutes into this podcast. Pat Beverly was suspended for 1 game by the NBA for his actions against CP3 in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. What do we make of his actions and the overall player that he is? And does the punishment fit the crime?
He got how many games?
He only got a 1-game suspension.
I think the punishment fits the crime. I don't think it was.
He should have got at least 4.
Nah, it was that big of a deal.
Just because my only thing is you got to look at it like this. Of course, he didn't mean to like hurt him, but that could have went in a whole new direction where he could have been out. What if he would have tore his ACL off of that push, or
like he did with Russie?
You know what I mean? Like, or what if he would have fell and hit his head? He got a concussion. It's a lot of ways that could have went wrong, and it would have looked horrible on national TV that America got to see him act a donkey.
Everybody sees him act the donkey. That's what the Clippers do.
Pat Beverly is exactly what's wrong with the NBA. Pat Beverly is a wannabe bully. He's a loudmouth. He pushed the man as he walked away. If I'm going to push you, I'm going to push you to your face or at least challenge you to let you know I got a problem. The man walked away and he pushed him in his back and he pushed him forcefully. Now, granted, Chris Paul did what Chris Paul does. He flopped it out. But to Kesey's point, remember when he did some stupid stuff to Westbrook? Westbrook and the Thunder could have won a championship that year.
He tried to slap the ball out of Westbrook's hand and went up under his leg and messed up his knee.
Up his knee, and it was out for the series. So actions like that, the NBA has to send a message to Beverly because he always does that. His attempt to get in people's head has gone too far. I'm not a Pat Beverly fan, never been a Beverly fan, and I thought that was weak, man. So to me, the punishment doesn't fit the crime, and Beverly needs to stop with that foolishness. Man.
How many games do you think you should have? How many games do you think you should have?
I mean, I think for me, that had the potential to turn into a melee. Okay, that could have been a bad incident. But remember, NBA rules state if you leave the court or you leave your bench, you're suspended. Yeah. So by now, Phoenix knew we can't defend our boy. We can't defend him because
his
if
teammates
we do,
around him,
we're suspended.
I mean,
Beverly, it should have at least been a 4 to 6 game suspension.
But see, that's where whoever his name is, we don't know, or we say, who?
Yeah.
That player supposed to get off the bench, and we don't care about him getting suspended, and he's supposed to jaw jack Beverly for that.
I hate to play devil's advocate. I like it a little bit, but a couple of things. Number one, Chris Paul, no one likes him. His personality sucks.
DeMarcus Cousins said on the bench during that game, that's why don't nobody F with your weakness. Yeah. He said that. He said that to Chris Paul.
What did he say? He said what?
That's why don't nobody with your weakness. Y'all know I don't swear, man. Don't try to make me swear.
So, don't nobody fuck with your weak ass. That's what he said. But the point is that, like Chris Paul, don't like Chris Paul. And what happened was, because I watched the whole thing, I'm like, damn, why you pushing him like that? He thought he said something. Chris Paul.
Wait.
Hold on a second. Let me finish. Chris Paul is known for saying little slick shit.
Chris Paul
because he turned around. He turned around, was like, what you say? And he pushed him. Now, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have got suspended. I didn't think he would. It was an emotional game. But what I'm saying is, I don't think it should have been like 4 to 6 games. 1 game should be good enough. Bruh,
the Clippers did Chris Paul bogus. When Pat Beverly hurt him in game 4, was it? Pat Beverly like mimicked him, jumping up and down.
But also, Chris Paul was flopping during that play too, and he made himself get hurt worse than what he should have been hurt.
Exactly, because he came down like, oh my.
He's the prime minister of flopping.
Well, him and old boy from Boston,
Smart.
Marcus Smart.
Oh
they're the kingpins of flop. But anyway, Pat Beverly needs to control himself.
It was an
Because-
emotional game. They were getting put out.
He needs to control.
Don't act like you ain't never put your hands on somebody when you lost.
Not when you walked away.
Yeah, you did.
I've never done that.
No, Dre gonna body slam in your face. He gonna
I've
see it
never
coming.
done that.
He gonna
Okay,
DDT you. He gonna
I-
Stone Cold
I know.
Austin you
He gonna
in
do
your
whatever-
face. You gonna see it coming.
I seen him do it. I watched.
I've seen him do it too.
At the end of the day, Chris Paul and the Clippers, we know that breakup was bad. It was not a good breakup, and so this was boiling over anyway. The only person on that team that Chris Paul really fooled with was Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard's the only one that actually showed some love to Chris Paul and shook up with him. But Cousins and Bev obviously were suspended.
I've been saying this all year though. The Clippers are a bunch of niggas. They're a bunch of
You
niggas.
said Chris Paul and who?
Kawhi Leonard.
When?
What do you mean?
During the game, after the game was
Oh,
over, Kawhi came up and showed love to Chris Paul. And you have to also remember,
I don't even bring up Kawhi because Kawhi is.
well, he's next on our list, so we're going to bring him up.
You kicked me off.
Hold it. So we also have to remember that Chris Paul holds leadership in the players union.
He does.
So this is your representative that has to go out and defend you, talk your contracts, schedule your collective bargaining agreement. So Pat Bev needs to control himself. A one-game punishment is a slap on the wrist. I think the NBA once again is telling folks, it's okay. Let that have been LeBron. Let that have been one of their stars or staff or KD. That suspension would have been a whole lot different.
I don't think.
Is that what you think?
I don't think so.
Listen, man, don't mess with the NBA's money.
I mean,
Don't mess with the NBA's money.
So just think if Phoenix loses Chris Paul, they done.
Yeah.
No.
As an owner, how would you feel if he pushed Chris Paul in his back and say he separated a disc in his back or something off of that?
I'm mad. I'm upset. But number one, I know that I can still win this series. I'm confident in my team because Cameron Payne comes off the bench
And he balls.
And he balls. So
Hard.
I'm not.
I know he better not be that one player to have a
Career night
career
on us.
night on us. I know that. I'm like Zeke. I'm gonna tear this mother up.
I'm not saying that it won't happen, but it could possibly happen.
Okay.
I just know that to me, it wasn't that serious. And Chris Paul always makes it that serious. Like the way he
He
got pushed in the back and he
was.
it was just too. It was just too.
Yeah,
much.
he do.
He be doing the
He does
most.
flop a lot, but Bev, 1 game suspension. Moving on, the Kawhi Leonard sweepstakes is back on. Is his career over in LA? He is being linked to the Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks. Both teams are going to allegedly roll out the red carpet and try to convince Leonard that it's a better situation. What happens to Kawhi Leonard? Go ahead, Zeke.
He stays in LA.
He stays in LA. Keith.
It's hard to say because he's unreadable. I swear, man. Like normally you can read a player and you'd be like, he might leave. He's the type of player he might leave.
That's not always true
But
because I've never seen LeBron go to Miami.
I did.
Dwayne
What?
Wade. What?
Oh, man.
His best friend? Go ahead, Keith.
That's when I thought niggas is loyal. But go ahead.
Well, we know you ain't loyal. So,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Keith.
I mean, Dre, you loyal, man.
You know, so Kawhi Leonard, I believe the Clippers blew it.
I don't think the Clippers blew it.
I think the Clippers blew it. I think hiring Lou was not a good thing for the Clippers and Kawhi. I think he brought in part of this is on him because he recruited Paul George.
Hold on.
If he didn't,
Before you
they'd
go
have
any-
lost in 5.
Before you go any further, do you think if Kawhi would have played, they would have won?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're Kawhi,
it would be the Bucks versus the Clippers.
okay, but if you're sitting back and you're Kawhi right now, do you be like, just because I'm not there, that's why we didn't win?
Yeah.
Or do you be like, I'm coming back next year and we're gonna win it? Or do you be like, or do you have that mentality like, I'm done with this situation?
The thing with Leonard is Leonard likes to win, but he doesn't want to overly work for it. When he was with the Spurs,
He doesn't want to be the leader.
he didn't have to overly work for his ships. In Toronto, he didn't have to overly work for it. He had Lowry. He had
Pascal.
yes,
Pascal
my man's. He had he played for
Powell.
OKC. He now he plays for the Clippers. They're together again. I forget his name. Nevertheless, Kawhi is a fighter, yes, but if you put him with someone like Luka, if you put him in Miami with Jimmy, he doesn't have to go as hard, and he can man his schedule, which the Clippers don't like for him to do.
Jimmy who?
Jimmy Butler.
But see, I don't think he would get along with Pat down there because Pat is aggressive.
Pat Riley.
Pat Riley is aggressive.
Only reason
Pat
He
Riley-
played for Pop. If he can play for Pop, he can play for Pat.
And you see how that relationship ended, didn't you?
It ended because of the injury that the dirty play from
they didn't
Zaza.
they didn't like the way Kawhi didn't like the way they handled his injury, and that includes Pop. So it's one of those things where I don't see him going to Dallas. They're starting all over. That would be that would be stupid.
And if you Kawhi,
Think so?
do you
Yeah.
want to
Remember, he lived in Texas already.
But just think about this though. If you Kawhi, do you want to deal with Mark Cuban?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
I like Mark Cuban as far as business,
Mhm.
but working for him and having that you see how Mark Cuban is as the
Mark
game.
Cuban is
Mark Cuban
he's
is a
loud.
different
He's
type of
loud. He's loud.
Very.
But besides that, he can do what he
Who
wants to
did,
do.
listen, Jason Kidd as the coach is attractive for Leonard to go to Dallas.
I don't think so.
Because remember, Dallas was a part of the sweepstakes before,
Yeah.
but he went to LA because he's from the LA area.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas has no state taxes. Let's not forget that incentive. He can get a big contract and he gets to play with the next league MVP in Luka Doncic. So I don't see him staying with LA, but I can't really say where he's going because the sweepstakes is wide open.
I think he stays with LA. I mean, Paul George is still going to be there.
He has to opt out first.
If they keep that team as they are right now, they can still compete for a championship. Like they can still
Not with Pat Bev.
Nah, man.
Because
even
they-
with Pat Bev
Because-
wasn't the main concern of this team until he had to hold Devin Booker defensively.
But you gotta look at
Reggie Jackson.
think about this though. When he
was
had to
balling.
guard Luka, Luka was burning him up. And think if Luka had one more person with him.
Because it ain't
Oh, yeah.
Porzingis.
Because it ain't Porzingis. But think if he got one more player to come there this offseason.
Yeah, I get
How
all
do you
that.
think that Dallas team is going to look? And then what do you think the Clippers are going to do with that Dallas team with Luka and some help?
This is my thing about that, because as a new coach, Jason Kidd has a lot to prove. And even though he has coaching experience, I think
He does have a lot to prove.
I think the thing about Kawhi is he has to respect you as a coach. With Pop, he respected Pop as a coach. So he respected Pop as a coach. And
Inside jokes, people.
and I can't think of their previous coach, Dallas.
Rick
Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle, whatever.
Carlisle.
Carlisle. He's respected in the NBA as a good coach.
He
Jason
is.
Kidd is not. So it's gonna be one of those things where like I ain't gonna say they're gonna bump heads, but if you don't have that respect for your coach, you're not gonna be like, hey guys, I want to emphasize this. He's like, whatever. So it's one of those things where like I don't think that's a good fit for him. Only reason he's a good fit in Miami is because one of his best friends is Jimmy Butler. But besides that, why not go back to where you're guaranteed?
Who was one of his best friends?
Jimmy Butler.
Who?
Jimmy Butler.
And who?
Kawhi.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
I know,
even know
right?
that.
It's weird.
That's weird.
But that's why he was
that
linked.
room be silent, bro.
That's why he linked. No, it's just one dude chilling and one of the dudes just cracking jokes. And he's like, haha, you funny, man.
No, it's Jimmy. I ain't gonna say what our Jimmy doing.
So you got Kawhi staying in LA.
I got him staying in LA.
Case.
I think he leaves.
I think he leaves, but I don't know where he goes.
I don't know
think he
where,
leaves.
but I think he leaves.
I think he leaves too. So
I think I don't know. Because Miami is like, they are slowly but surely going to break that team up.
as they have to.
And
That's a lot of money. That
like
they're on
Tyler
the hook
the
for.
hero.
Tyler the hero.
Tyler the
Creator.
hero. That's out the
Tyler
door.
the Hero. That's the name you giving him?
Yep. Tyler the hero. He's out the door.
Miami actually
What's called the
just
free
released
agents?
a report saying that they don't like his celebrity status.
Oh yeah, that the bubble went to his head.
They
the
said they
bubble
don't
went to
like
his
his
head.
celebrity status.
So he's
Talking
gonna
about-
get traded.
Talking about Tyler Hero, meaning his off the court stuff is becoming a problem. Another story for another day.
What is he? What could he be doing though?
I mean, if you follow him on Instagram, you can kind of get a view
You
into
know what
his
he's doing?
lifestyle.
You know what he's doing.
I don't.
No,
Do you really want me to say what he's doing?
no. Let's
You
move
sure?
on.
I see this woman.
I'll say it.
She a baddie.
Exactly. he doing what white people do when they from Milwaukee. Start acting black. That's what he doing. He acting like a nigga. Yeah, I said it. I'm sorry. Kesey asked me. I'm gonna answer the question.
Moving
He acting
on.
like a nigga.
The Philadelphia 76ers rejected an offer for a trade for Ben Simmons. The Sixers reportedly turned down Malcolm Brogdon and a first-round draft pick for Ben Simmons. What do you make of that proposed trade? Did Philly do the right thing? What would you have done if you were the GM?
I would not give up Ben Simmons for no Malcolm Brogdon. I don't care what you're talking about.
I'd have said the same
You
thing.
can say whatever they want to say. I mean, I like Brogdon and all, but Simmons does a lot in a lot of categories. Even though he can't shoot, he does a lot in a lot of categories that makes up for some of that not shooting.
Mhm.
Not all of the not shooting, some of the not shooting.
Mhm.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. I feel the same way because, besides the factor that he's injury prone, Malcolm Brogdon is he's a nice guy, but he's not consistent. He's out for 6 weeks. He's out for 4 weeks. And then he comes back. He does what he's supposed to do, but he's not no guy where like Ben Simmons is if he could shoot, next LeBron.
Are you glad that the Bucks didn't re-sign him then?
Who?
Brogdon, because we had a chance to re-sign him, but
I
we
wish-
signed George Hill. Remember?
I wish the Bucks did re-sign him, to be honest with you, because him coming off the bench would have been fantastic.
I'll tell you like this. For me, obviously Simmons is a better player than Malcolm, but you were trading injury for injury. So what were you gaining? Because Simmons is injury prone. Malcolm Brogdon is injury prone. Both do not play complete seasons, but Philly was looking for someone to score based on what we've heard and what we've read and what we believe. So I think they missed out on a scorer, but for a namesake, no, you don't trade those two players. I'm just surprised they didn't give it consideration because the reports are like, no, it was just like a flat out no, not considering, not thinking it. What team do you believe Simmons would be a good fit for? Who should entertain this trade offer? We don't want him in Milwaukee. We've already established that. We don't want him here.
We don't need his services here.
We don't need him.
But I don't want to say that. But I think
don't
that
want to say that
you would give up Holiday for Simmons?
I didn't say that.
because you're gonna have to
give him up.
You're gonna have to either give up
Let me ask you a
Middleton
question.
or you're gonna have to give up Holiday.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You see that role PJ Tucker is playing?
Yeah,
Who would be better at the fit for that role? Ben Simmons.
but
You don't have to shoot. All you need to do is lock down this guy.
But the thing
who you
is though,
giving up though? Who you giving up?
PJ Tucker.
Ain't nobody giving up no Simmons for no PJ Tucker.
I'm just saying in fantasy land.
but PJ Tucker can hit that three though.
He can't hit that three. I'm
And
just
he
saying
hit
he
quite
don't
a
have
few
to.
of them to get us over the hump too.
And he come of them. What I'm saying is PJ Tucker main role is on defensive role. And what I'm saying is imagine
hit corner threes.
Occasionally, every 5 games.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is Ben
But did
Simmons.
he hit it when it counted?
It did.
Every
Did he-
5 games.
But did he hit it when it counted in the playoffs?
Every 5
Did he
games.
hit it in the playoffs when it counted?
Please don't make me anti-Bucks again. Please. We've had a good episode.
You know
Please
what?
don't make me go in on PJ Tucker.
I'm on your heels, man. Just
Please
because-
don't make me go in on PJ
Don't go
Tucker.
in on it. Just
Listen,
agree
Go
with
ahead.
I'm not
Go
letting
ahead.
I'm not letting you ride a book today.
Go ahead.
You ain't riding PJ
That is
today.
a very nice hat, Z.
it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Go ahead, bro. Finish up.
Anyways, but I was just saying
Fake
that.
fans.
I was just saying that
PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker.
Shout out PJ.
Shout out PJ.
Shout out PJ, but
King of the shoes.
king of the shoes.
But
Money. That's what y'all
But Ben Simmons is a great defensive player. Where would I like them see? That's a tough question because where would he go where he wouldn't have to score? In Philadelphia, he has to score, and that's the funny thing is he can drive. He can get these down low buckets. I think in the playoffs he was just in his
I'm gonna
head,
tell you the perfect situation.
but he averaged like 15 a game.
And the other thing to remember, Keith, before you go, Philly also they're an injury prone team. So they got to get rid of somebody because Embiid stays injured.
I'm gonna tell you
Tobias Harris stays injured.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yes, he does.
I'm
he does.
gonna tell you right now the move they gotta make.
Go ahead.
Wiggins for Simmons.
No,
Do you really want to help Golden State get better?
But Wiggins also helps us too, because Wiggins is not a bad defender as well. And he can score.
He's not a bad defender,
And
but
he can score way better
but
than
Simmons
Ben
is
Simmons.
an excellent person.
I know,
defender.
but you got to give up something to get offense, right? They losing on offense. Defensively, Philly was good. They just couldn't score.
Like I said before, Simmons was in his head.
They
He
couldn't-
averaged 15 a game.
They couldn't get buckets when they needed it.
That's true, but he got averaged 15 a game in a season. So if he's averaging 15 a game and his shooting percentage is terrible, he's obviously getting to the rack. He's obviously scoring somewhat. In the playoffs, he just got in his head. And that comes from him being young. That comes from him being just listening to the critics and stuff like that. Like after that series is over and Atlanta won that series, like you start to hear more stuff come out about Ben Simmons. Like he's coddled. He has a little entourage that don't tell him he can't shoot. They just up his ass and blowing smoke up it.
Spending his money.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where like I can't get rid of, like you talking about Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins hasn't been Andrew Wiggins that he was supposed to be, the number one draft pick since his rookie year.
But he had a decent year last year for the.
He was okay as a role player.
Yeah, he did.
So to wrap this up, you would have did the same thing. You would have said you would have kept him over Brogdon.
Yeah, I would have kept him over.
You would have kept him.
Most definitely.
All right. This has been another episode of the 94 Feet Podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Let's go, Milwaukee.
Let's go, Milwaukee. Let's bring the championship home. Listen to us on Spreakers, Google, iHeart, Apple, Spotify. Watch us on Facebook Live. Like us on social media at 94FT Podcast. Hopefully, the next time we're talking, we are closer to an NBA championship.
Or hopefully we get the Deer District.
94 Feet Nation, let's go, baby. Thanks for listening.